Every footballer hopes one day to gain representative honours, whether they be City, Country, New South Wales, Queensland or Australia. Last night, the New South Wales side was chosen for the first State of Origin match, and some players took a step to achieving that ultimate goal, a green and gold jumper. One of those is Canberra halfback Ricky Stuart, who would dearly love to be Australia's next dual international. Andrew Moore caught up with Ricky last night after the team was announced, but before he had learned he had earned a sky blue jumper.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's the first I've heard about it.
Obviously the highlight of your rugby league career. You've heard so much about State of Origin football. Do you have any idea of what to expect?
No, not at the moment. I'll have to talk to a few blokes who've got an experience with it, but mate, I'm just buzzed. I'm wrapped about it.
I know you've only just literally heard of the side moments ago, but the scrum-based trio, yourself, Laurie Daly and Bradley Clyde, that must make things pretty much easier for you. You've been in such great form as a trio.
Yeah, well, it does help, I suppose, but you know, I didn't think I didn't know what the selectors would do. I've been in this sort of situation before, and the selectors, I've sort of been disappointed, but mate, I'm totally wrapped. I can't believe it still.
You had a great game on Anzac Day for City against Country in the Origin clash, and by all reports you had a great game against South Sydney today. After the game, did you think that you would be the New South Wales halfback, or did you not want to think about it too much?
No, I didn't want to think about it. I just want to take it as it comes. I just come to the club tonight. I said to a few of the boys, we'll come and have a drink about it. And, I mean, we were just waiting for the team to get announced. Actually, just John McIntyre just poked his finger at me with his big smile.
Yeah, well, John ought to be happy with so many of you on the side, yourself, Laurie Daly, Bradley Clyde and also Glenn Lazarus.
I mean, it's great, and we should be expecting 4 or 5 players in the Queensland team too. It's a big buzz. I can't believe it. It's great.
Ricky Stuart wasn't the only player to be surprised at his selection. Andrew Moore once again broke the news, this time to Canterbury's David Gillespie.
Oh,
David.
Yeah.
It's Andrew Moore from TUE calling. How are you?
How are you?
Mate, I just ring to congratulate you about your selection.
Yeah, fair dinkum.
Yeah, you're in.
You're the first one. Yeah, that's great, mate.
Oh, right.
I didn't know. It was very good, mate. I'm just having a couple of beers after our win today against the Gold Coast, and it's very good to hear, mate.
I dare say those few beers will have an extra taste to them now.
Yeah, well now, mate. I was just hanging a bit there, waiting for the side to get announced, and you were the first one in to tell me, so yeah, I'm pretty stoked, mate. It's great.
Well, that's great news, David. Now, it's a pretty strong-looking front row, forward pack in general you have. You'll be in the second row with Bruce Maguire, and your form's been excellent. You had a great game on Anzac Day as well.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks has been pretty good for me. My defence has come into it a bit. I'm getting my timing right, and I thought today that the attacking game was pretty good too. So you know, I think it might hold me in good stead for the first game anyway, mate.
Well, David, you're rated as one of the heaviest and hardest hitters in rugby league, and you'll certainly be needed to produce some of those hits against Queensland in the State of Origin series. Obviously, one of the biggest games of your life coming up.
Yeah, it is, mate. I actually made the State of Origin series in '86, but was only reserved for the three of them. So you know, it's going to be great to get a taste of it, and I can't wait, mate. You know, they're going to have a very good side too, so you know, we're going to have to be on the ball to get away with them.
David Gillespie, thanks for your time, congratulations, and enjoy your hangover in the morning.
Yeah, thanks very much, mate.
David Gillespie and Ricky Stuart obviously delighted with their selections. Monday, the day of the medicals, and 2 players, unfortunately, were ruled out. Phil Rothfield was at the Sydney Football Stadium.
Greg Alexander didn't even worry about a medical test. He ruled himself out, and shortly afterwards, Manly's utility star Des Hasler was ruled unfit by Dr. Nathan Gibbs. First up, I spoke to Greg Alexander.
Yeah, it is disappointing. You know, I can see the side they've picked, and you know, it's a great side, and I'm pretty sure they'll come up with a win. And you know, it is disappointing to be given a chance and you know be ruled out through injury.
And Des Hasler was equally as disappointed.
Yeah, it's you know, it's disappointing, you know, to sort of get this far and then sort of be ruled out at the last moment there. Yeah.
Now you asked for Wednesday to see if you could prove your fitness then.
Yeah, but he had a look at it this morning. He said you know, it was pretty swollen and that and spongy, and he said sort of by Wednesday might be able to jog or half sprint, but as far as match conditions, it probably wouldn't be suitable. And he said the worst being reserved, the worst thing would be sort of going on there and doing it in the first 2 minutes and then coming off.
Shocking, Blokes. You've never had a hamstring injury before?
No, it's the first time I strained anything, you know, any sort of muscle there.
After this break, we'll be back with one of the new boys, speak to two old faces and hear the reasonings behind Andrew Ettinghausen's move to fullback. While Greg Alexander was ruining his luck with injury, the same can't be said for Illawarra fullback Rod Wishart. Phil Rothfield caught up with him.
A meteoric rise for the young Illawarra winger, and I asked him was he surprised at the selection.
Yeah, it is a surprise. Greg Alexander's misfortune's my fortune, but those things happen in footy, and it's good to be in the line-up side.
Did you give yourself any hope even last night of getting in as reserve?
Oh no, not at all. I had to pull out of the countryside, and not playing yesterday against St George, I thought my hopes for selection were pretty slim, but it's good to know that the selectors have got some faith in you, and it's good to be in the side.
Now, how are the nerves going to be? Because it is really by far the biggest game of your career.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a big game. It's probably the best football anyone can play, and I'll be nervous for sure, but once I'm out there, it'll be all right.
Must be a great sign from the club, because they have been down the table for a long time, but the fact that players can make the rep sides from Illawarra.
Yeah, well, Illawarra's never been a real glamour side, and we've started off this season fairly well, and our form's been fairly good, and I've got to say thank you to the rest of my teammates for my selection in some rep sides, because with their good form, it's easy to perform yourself.
I then spoke to Cronulla's Andrew Ettinghausen, who was originally chosen in the centres, and asked him was he surprised to be switched to the hot seat at fullback.
Yeah, very surprising actually. I was chosen in the centres, and I was pretty happy to be chosen there, but fullback's going to be a great position. I enjoy the spot very much, so it should work out well.
You would prefer the centres though?
Yeah, I've both positions I enjoy. I've played a fair bit of fullback. I had 2 seasons over in England, and also a couple of seasons at the beginning of my career here with Cronulla, and I enjoy fullback very much. Centre's a top spot, and I've been playing it the last few years, but when I go over to England, I insist on playing fullback. I won't even play in the centres, because I enjoy the spot.
Do you think Queensland will press you because you're sort of new to the position this year with bombs?
Well, I think if I get enough cover, and there should be no trouble at all with the bombs, and I can catch a ball like anyone else, it should be okay.
A lot of people think New South Wales' best chance for years, to finally break through this year.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's going to be a Blues year. Everyone's playing. Everyone in this team's been in top form lately, and I can see that our first game's going to be a hard one, but we'll definitely get on top.
I then suggested to New South Wales Chairman of Selectors Don Furner it was a gamble to be playing a specialist centre at fullback.
I don't think so, because we've known that Andrew's played fullback quite a lot, and when he was over in England playing for Leeds, he was probably outstanding as a fullback over there. People probably forgot the fact that he has played a lot of fullback.
And did you give much thought to Gary Jack, or was it just Ettinghausen straight away?
Gary Jack come under consideration, but it was pretty hard, only because we were looking for that fella that's been playing all the time, and Gary Jack was certainly given a lot of thought.
2 new faces on the reserve bench, South Sydney's Graham Lyons and Manly's Jeff Tuvey. Don Furner made it clear the selectors have got a very high opinion of Tuvey.
Well, I think everybody would realise that he's done so well, and anyone that's in a club side that has replaced Des Hasler as their halfback has got to have something going for him.
That back row in the forwards has got a real defence look about it with David Gillespie and, of course, Bruce Maguire there.
Yes, and also the option, you've got Paul Soonan sitting on the sideline, and you've got Lazarus sitting on the sideline to boost up that pack. So we just think that the forwards, there's a lot of unlucky people too. Cartwright, you can name quite a few that's missed out that would probably do the job. We're very lucky that the front row situation and the second row situation has a lot of depth.
One player who missed the side last year and is delighted to be back, Balmain enforcer Steve Roach.
Yeah, it's a good side, and I'm happy to be back. Yeah, it's good.
Did you give yourself much chance?
Oh well, I thought I was a bit of a chance. Form's been pretty good, and I was always hoping.
What about that people say this is New South Wales' best side for years? You go along with that. It's the best chance for a long time to beat.
Well, I don't know. I don't really know about that. I think in any state of origin series, the first game is the most important. If you can get off to a good start, you're well on the way to win the series.
There's been a lot of speculation about you playing under Jake Gibson. Do you think you'll have to tone your game down a bit, or?
No, I don't. No, Jack will be good, I think, and I'm sure that I'll play the way he wants me to play.
Is this the first time you played under them and are you looking forward to it? Or?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be good. Yeah, it's the first time they'll play under him too.
It's a good pack. You've got Glenn Lazarus there on the bench too.
Yeah, it's a good pack, yeah. Glenn's an up-and-coming player and hopefully he'll get his chance.
And so the New South Wales side was finally settled with only Illawarra's Rod Wishart to face a fitness check on Wednesday.